guys, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we are back in Sulani and we are building another beach house, and this one is going to be a brutalist style beach house. And I have done some brutalist style builds before. I think maybe like 2 of them, and one of them actually was on the beach. It was a brutalist spa, but I feel like this one is not my favorite build that I've done in this style, but you guys can let me know what you think. As usual, it was inspired by a picture that I saw on Pinterest. So I'm gonna go on and put that picture on the screen now where you guys can kind of see what I was going for and what I was trying to make this look like. So I was trying to kind of recreate this build. And I don't feel like I really did it justice, and that's probably a really bad way to start a speed build voiceover, but yeah, this one just did not turn out as well as I thought it was going to. But that could be because of some of the ways that I actually had to build it. So I wanted to recreate that look. So I wanted to have that bottom like patio area that had a pool, and then like some loungers. And then on top of that, on the second floor, I wanted to have the actual house, which you guys can see right now. But I did really want to have that angled patio in front of the house that you guys could see in that original picture. I thought that was really cool, and I really wanted to include that in this build. And so basically I had 2 ways of achieving that. Well, I guess technically 3 ways, because I went with the 3rd way. But when I went to actually cut the patio area out at that angle using the like flooring tool, I realized that it was going to be really, really long, because I guess when you're using the flooring tool, the angle would be a 45-degree angle. So it was really steep, and it extended way out from the house, and I didn't really like the way that looked. So basically I could do that still and have the house be as long as I wanted it to be, but then the patio area would have like a very long and unnatural look about it. Or I could make the house shorter and the patio area would look better, but then I wouldn't have room for a kitchen in the actual build or room for much else other than the bedroom. So I decided to go with option 3, which was to kind of make my own angle. And this is basically, I learned how to do this from T.O.O.L. But basically I took this column that came with the spa day package because it's big enough that it would hide some of the area that I cut away, because when we cut off this flooring, it's gonna be not at a good angle, so I'm gonna have to cut it into a really jagged shape. So I used this column from Spa Day along with the tool mod to cover up that really jagged shape. And as you guys can see on the screen now, you can't actually tell that the floor isn't cut straight. It looks like it's just the way the flooring is. And so yeah, I learned how to do that from T.O.O.L. I feel like I just explained that very badly, so I'm sorry for that, but I'm just really bad at explaining some of this stuff. But basically that was the 3rd option, which meant that I couldn't actually use the flooring tool. And because of that, I ended up using this column from Spa Day. And I feel like the column from Spa Day is what makes this build look a little bit weird in the end, just because it's kind of chunky and it doesn't really blend in. And before, on one of my brutalist builds, I actually went on it. I did basically the same method, but I went on and filled in like any empty spaces with the same object. So like on the roof of this build, I would have went on and filled in that empty space that you guys can see. I would have went on and filled that in with the same object, just layered over and over and over again. And the same for the sides of the builds. That way it had this kind of waterfall effect and it all looked like it went together. But with this build, I decided not to do that just because it was adding so much of that object, and I feel like that slows the game down. And maybe I was just a little bit too lazy to do that as well. But I probably should have, because that is the part of this build that I don't really like, is that you can see the ends of that object. Like you can see it on the ends of the house. And I tried to blend it as much as possible, but it is still noticeable if you're looking for it. But anyway, I used that same column from Spa Day to like hold the house up as well, so you can kind of see it on the bottom patio area. And I just kind of spread those out. I feel like sometimes it still doesn't look like it's actually possible, but that's one of the best parts of building in The Sims, I guess, is that it doesn't actually have to be possible to build it in The Sims. You can make like floating houses and everything else. So yeah, that is that, but I didn't love that part of the build. I feel like on this front patio area, it kind of looks like a fence a little bit because it's kind of higher than the actual flooring. But when I look at the overall build, like unless I have it at a certain angle, it just kind of bugs me. But anyway, I probably just spent way too long talking about that column from Spa Day, but that's the kind of the way that I built this, so I wanted to talk about it for a little while. But like I said, this is a brutalist style, so it's kind of like a minimalist style as well. I didn't add a whole lot of items to this build. This is the like front porch area or the front patio area, and so that's where you actually enter the house. That's the only part of this build that has stairs up to it, so you do have to enter the house there. Oh, and also I finished the shell of this build just to remember that I couldn't actually place a pool on this lot because it's a waterfront lot, or I couldn't place it where I wanted to at least. So instead of just redoing the whole build, I went on and made a pool without a pool. I just went on and made a pool using the ocean, so it's not actually a pool. Kate Emerald also has a tutorial on how to do that as well, but it is functional. Your Sims can go into it and swim. So I decided just to go with that, and luckily this house was built far enough on the water that it worked out. It's really shallow up on one side of it, but like I said, it still works, and that's the goal. So it looks like a pool, so I decided to just go with it. But the house is really small. It's a 1-bedroom house. The only reason that I added walls at all in this build was just for the bathroom, because I did want the bathroom to be enclosed. So I did add the wall that separates the kitchen from the living room and the bedroom, and I added a bathroom in that area. I enclosed a little area for the bathroom, but otherwise I wouldn't have placed any walls in this build, because to me the brutalist style is just a very open kind of style. I don't know if anybody else views it that way, but I feel like it's a very open kind of concept style. So the bedroom and the living room are like that, and then I kept the kitchen area pretty simple. But I'm pretty sure this house has everything you need, like all the necessities. The one thing I did not include in this house was like a desk area, like an office. So it doesn't have a computer, so you would have to add that. I'm actually not even sure if I'm going to add this house to the gallery, because the gallery picture is absolutely horrific. And I know that shouldn't matter, but it just bugs me because it looks really bad from the front. When I was building it, I was definitely planning to take screenshots from the back of this build. And so yeah, it looks a little bad from the front. So I don't know if I'm going to add it to the gallery. If you guys are interested in it being on the gallery, just let me know. But for right now, I don't know if I'm going to actually add it to the gallery or not. But that is basically it for this build. We're just going to do some landscaping, which is very simple because most of this house is in the water. But yeah, that is it for this build. I always love hearing what you guys think, so let me know what you think of this build in the comments down below. And hopefully I will talk to you guys soon with another speed build. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all are doing really, really well.